What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. So this video, I'm gonna be showing you the proper way in securing Teflon tape on the threads of this fuel pressure gauge. So just to catch people up to speed that's new to the video or new to the channel, I am currently building a Chevy Caprice. I'm restoring the car basically, and not gonna kind of run down everything, but the car was all original when I got the car. I did an engine and transmission swap. Did a small block 383. It's a built motor. It's not a crate motor. It's a built engine. High compression motor. It's about 11 to 1 compression. It's got a street and strip TH350 trans. New fuel system in it. New, like I said, fuel tank, new fuel pump, new fuel filter. It's got an electric fuel pump. It's got a performance style fuel filter. Let's see what else we got going on. We got all new fuel lines. We got all new braided, black braided fuel line. Brand new cooling system. We got the dual cooling fans on the radiator. It's a 4-row cooling radiator, aluminum. Let's see, the engine itself, like I said, consists of a 750 Holley aluminum head. It's a roller motor. Just kind of catch you guys up on speed a little bit. You can go back and look at some of the other videos. I got a couple videos on the engine and as well. So go ahead and check out some of those older videos and catch yourself up on the speed. If you look in the corner, I'll drop a link. Let's see what else we got going on with that car. We got a lot going on with the car. We got a lot that I've accomplished with the car so far. The build is in motion, so stay tuned for a lot of good content that's coming. So basically what I'm doing today is the fuel pressure gauge that I bought originally, for some reason, it doesn't work. I bought it brand new. It doesn't work. So I didn't know that until I installed it. So I ordered a new one, and I was telling you guys before that when you're working with like fuel lines, transmission lines, anything that's got pressure going through, you're gonna wanna use Teflon tape to seal the threads to make sure that it doesn't leak, because it will leak if you don't use Teflon tape. It will leak. And as I was saying, something like fuel, you don't want no leak, because in the engine compartment on a vehicle period, you got a lot of stuff that gets hot. The engine gets hot, the exhaust gets hot, a lot of stuff get hot, okay? So the last thing you want is a fuel leak and it gets on something hot, starts a fire. The engine also has spark, of course. So for these custom builds, a lot of times wires are close to things that get really hot. So things move around. These engines has a lot of vibration. So things move around, things shift, things loosen up, things break, such as ties or whatnot that's holding things. So say if you have a spark plug wire, it gets too close to a header or something of that sort, gets hot, burns it. Now you got a wire that's sparking, shooting sparks. You don't know it because it's under the hood. You can't really see it. You don't hear it. Then you got a fuel leak, and just so happen a spark sparks while a fuel leaks, and then you got a fire. So that's the reason you want to make sure you don't have any leaks when it comes to stuff like this. Another thing is, you know, transmission lines and stuff like that, you want to make sure you use the Teflon tape. The last thing you want is to be out cruising and you get a leak, you don't have transmission fluid with you, it's too low to drive, it won't go in gear because there's not enough fluid in it, then you're either gonna leave the vehicle or you're gonna have to call a tow truck or figure out a way to come get it. All of the above is just unnecessary. That's the reason that you need to use stuff like the Teflon tape to be sure that you don't run into situations like this. I have other vehicles that I built, and about a year ago, I think we was at a show last year. We was at a car show. A lot of guys came out. A lot of guys were showing out, showing off. A lot of guys' vehicles broke. Yep, they broke. One guy wound up leaving his at the show, I guess until the next day or whatnot, because he didn't have a way to take it from the show after he broke it. So it's just like I said, if you try to make sure everything is just in A1 shape, check over everything, things should be good to go. As I said in one of the other videos, I always do a check on my vehicle before I fire it up. And the reason so, just to make sure everything's functioning like it should. Just the other day, my cooling fans and my electric water pump, it wasn't coming on. So if I would have not checked that, I'd have fired the car up, and then if I wouldn't have paid attention to the temperature hand, I would have not known that the engine was getting too hot. So that's the reason I check things beforehand. So it's very important to kind of do an assessment on the vehicle before you even start it up, before you get in it and drive it. And I know it seems like a lot, but when it comes to these classic cars, they aren't the same as modern cars. Everything's different on it. Everything's different on it. So, like I said, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get into how to apply this Teflon tape. It's pretty easy. You're just gonna wanna, like I said, apply it to the threads on the regulator or whatever you're putting it on. My Teflon tape has kind of been around for a while. I had this piece for a while, so it looks a bit tough, but it still does the job. So basically all you're gonna do is you're just gonna get you a piece of it, and it has a mount of its own. It just wants to stick to everything. So yeah, it wants to stick to everything. So, but once you get it on, it's on. You don't gotta worry about it. But right now it keeps wanting to stick to the rest of the tape. So what I do is I just get me a piece started, and I try to make it as perfect as possible. So like I said, it's covering all threads, and I just kind of get it started, and it's gonna look a little bit like that once it's started. And just apply a good amount. I usually just twist it a couple of times, make sure that it is covering all the threads. Make sure it's nice and tight, because like I said, it will try to find a way to leak. It will try to find a way to leak. You can't really use too much of it, but sometimes if you use too much, you know, it'll be kind of hard to thread it. So still working on it, guys. Trying to get this thing perfected here. Trying to get this thing perfected here. said, once you get it on, it'll look something like this. And like I said, just go around it a little bit, just to kind of make sure that it's tight. Everything's tight. There's no gaps, no air in it. And that's how you do it. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy to do. And it's ready for the install. Appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like and share this video. It really helps the channel out. Y'all stay tuned for more videos to come.